Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. Have you ever wondered if that fitness tracker on your wrist is doing more than counting your steps? And could it actually be shaping the way you live and improving your health? Well, this is what I wanted to explore in today's episode, are the wearable technologies and how it's influencing health behaviors. I want to talk about the pros, the cons, and the future implications of fitness trackers and smartwatches. And so I started wearing a Fitbit myself probably 10 years ago, and I've since upgraded to an Oura Ring. And I'll tell you, the fitness insights and the data that I get from my Oura Ring are invaluable. Now, I'm not going to say it's perfect because there are glitches and it's not perfect, but it does track certain things that I'm very interested in as a health coach. And so, at the core of every good health protocol is a good diet, a clean diet of, hopefully a lot of fruits, vegetables, organic, grass-fed beefs and pasture-raised chicken and things like that. And also good quality sleep is at the base of it. And, stress management, getting some exercise in. And so the wearable devices, these fitness trackers, the smartwatches, the rings, they all monitor health metrics. And some of the most popular devices out there are, of course, Fitbit, now owned by Google, Apple Watch, the Oura Ring. Like I said, I've got one. I've had it for probably 3 years, and I love the data. They're constantly upgrading the different data that you can get from it. A Whoop, a strap. These are just some of the things that are out there. And they started out with Fitbit mainly tracking your steps. They track your heart rate. They track your sleep stages, blood oxygen levels, your stress levels throughout the day. And they can really help you to get a grip on how you are living and how you can tweak your lifestyle, if you will. There is over 400 million people right now around the world wearing these. That was as of 2023, and the projection is in 2029 for over 525 million. So it's not going away. It's only getting stronger. And I think it's going to help us to learn a little bit more and be able to take a very proactive approach into our health moving forward. And so some of the positive impacts of these devices are that it gives you very real-time feedback. So it tells you how many, steps you've taken, how many steps you're taking. It tells you how you're sleeping. And it can help you if you know you're not getting enough exercise in or getting enough steps. You can increase that. If you look at your data over a week and you see that you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting your 7 to 9 hours, or you're not getting into that deep or REM sleep, you can work on your sleep patterns. If you see that you're getting stressed at certain times of the day, you can kind of look back and say, what was that was causing me that stress during the day? And kind of work on it. So it gives you that very real-time feedback. And another benefit of it is that it helps you with, setting a goal. And so, for example, if it's steps, you can set a goal for yourself that you want to do 10,000 steps each day, or you want to do 15,000 or 20,000 or whatever it might be. Or maybe you're just starting out and you just want to go with 5,000 a day. But it can help with that, and it can also help with accountability. And I know that you can, with a lot of these devices, you can also share your data with friends that are also on the same devices. So you can hold each other accountable, even even if you don't live anywhere near each other. And also it helps, a lot of them will give you reminders to help keep you motivated. So whether it's a Fitbit, it might give you, or an Apple Watch, it might give you a vibration or a ding or something that tells you, gives you a little nudge. And, or the Oura Ring gives different, on the app, it will give you different prompts. Something else that it can do is, in some cases, you could consider that it's giving you early detection on some health issues. So, for example, if you might be able to have an alert that you have irregular heart rates. So when it's tracking your heart rates, especially at night, it will show what your lowest heart rate was, and if you had any deviations in that throughout the night. But also, blood oxygen levels and that kind of a thing can signal perhaps sleep apnea. So although it's not going to tell you that's what it is, but it might just give you a heads up that something that you can explore. And also those abnormal stress levels throughout the day. Another thing that you can do is that you can sync it with apps so that like a fitness, if you've got a fitness app on your phone, you can sync it with your device, and it can also track and give you a very comprehensive view of the overall health. So those are the pros. There are quite a few pros to it. There are also some limitations and some challenges. So first of all, it's a device and it's not going to be 100% accurate. Some of the metrics, like, for example, the one I think of very often is calorie burn. That may not always be precise. It may be close, may not even be close sometimes. But that's one of the things, the accuracy of it. I found one of the reasons I went to an Oura Ring is I found it to be more accurate, for example, with sleep than my Fitbit or my Apple Watch at the time. And so, plus I didn't really like wearing those at night because it has it kind of lights up every time you move. But the other thing too is a lot of people do, and I have to say I'm guilty of this sometimes, is I get almost addicted to it, right? To the data. And that can give you, misinterpretations of the metrics. And so you could kind of make yourself cuckoo if you're looking too much at the numbers. But and like I said, I've been guilty of that at times, as I kind of, as soon as I wake up, I'm checking my Oura app to see how much I slept. The other thing too is some people have maybe a privacy issue, right? So, just making sure that your data is kept personal, right? It's your personal health data. So those are some of the cons to it, or the downfalls to it. But there are some practical tips also that you can use, that I can give you for using these fitness devices. And one of them is to, set very realistic goals for yourself. So focus on achievable health improvements. So like I said, if you're not really active, start out slowly with 5,000 steps a day and then gradually build it up. And so set your goal for maybe by, 2 months, you want to be at 10,000 or you want to be at 20,000 or something. But just, it helps you to set those goals. The other thing too, that I use it a lot for, because I'm very big on sleep, is to, set that goal for a minimum of 7.5 hours of sleep every night. I know that for me, anything less than that, I don't feel optimal. And so 7.5 is really my sweet zone. More is okay. Less is generally not as good. So you can set a goal for that too, and just check it and say, hey, I'm not hitting it. So you can work on your nighttime sleep regimen. And, use the data again, but don't obsess over it. Look for trends rather than looking at your daily fluctuations. And so that's kind of a better thing if you look at it. And I know for a fact that, and Fitbit does the same thing, and so does Apple Watch. They do trends, but the Oura Ring too will show a trend, and every once in a while at the end of the month, it will tell you what your trends were for the month. And you always want to make sure that you're pairing it with lifestyle changes. So, they're tools. These wearables and these fitness trackers, they're tools. They're not solutions. They're not going to make you healthy, right? But they combine that with, healthy habits, and it can help get you on track to living, healthier. And the emerging trend is in these health devices. We now have devices for blood glucose monitoring, for stress reduction, for mental health. There's lots of things that we are moving towards, and so it can also be a potential role in any kind of chronic disease that you have. So imagine if these wearables were helping people with IBD or chronic fatigue. And what if they were helping to manage these things? I mean, I think this is where we are evolving to, hopefully, getting these to be a good thing and not so much of an addictive or compulsively looking at these things, right? So just maybe, looking at the future, these could be just the wave of the future. And so, key takeaways here are that wearable technology has the power to positively influence health behaviors. There's no question about it. Just going back to the original Fitbit that would just track steps, or even those pedometers that just tracked your steps, that is, it is a move in the right direction. And so it's helpful. It's also important to just continue to use them and use them very mindfully, right? Not become obsessed with them. So I'd love to know what your favorite wearable feature is, if you wear one, what you have changed, what habits you may have changed or made, how you've gotten healthier because of your fitness tracker. And, so I hope you found some value in today's episode. If you did, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with anybody that you know that might find this valuable. And don't forget to download my free IBD on the go guide. You can get it by clicking the show notes below or by going to bit.ly/IBD guide. That's bit.ly/IBD guide. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. Bye for now. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.